What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be answering a lot of concerns and questions we get when we hear the consistency rules in the prop firm space. Whether or not it's a MyFundedFutures or Apex, they both have consistency rule, but for this video we're going to be focusing on the MyFundedFutures 40% consistency rule, and at the end of the video I'm going to be sharing with you a free consistency rule calculator that you can use whether or not you have a 40% consistency rule, 20% consistency rule, 30% consistency rule, or whatever amount of consistency rule you have for your prop firm. I'm going to be sharing with you a free calculator that you can calculate and maintain and visually understand where you at to meet your consistency rule for your prop firm of choice. And I'm going to be just sharing with you that calculator that I built just for free, and all I ask in return is just a simple subscribe to the channel if you like the content and like the video if you want to support me. So let's get started. So here are some questions and concerns we get when we hear the consistency rule in the prop firm. What is the meaning of the consistency rule? Will my account get breached if I violate that rule? Oh my god, I'm gonna be capped of making a lot of money in one day. And trying to follow the rule, am I maintaining the consistency rule every day? What if I accidentally made a lot of money in one day? How would that affect my consistency rule limitation? Will my payout get denied? Or how much money do I need to make to meet the consistency rule and maintain it? So focusing on just the MyFundedFutures prop firm, what is the 40% consistency rule? Well, first of all, we need to make a note of two things. Well, first, the consistency rule does not apply at all during any of the challenge phases, whether or not it's an expert plan or starter plan. Second, for the funded phase or the challenge phase on the expert plan, the consistency rule does not apply. So that means we got the consistency rule on the funded phase for just the starter plan. It does not apply on the during the challenge phase for the starter plan, but once you have qualified to be a funded phase or semi-funded account for the starter plan, you will get the consistency rule and you need to maintain it. So simply, what is the consistency rule for the MyFundedFutures prop firm? Well, they ask of you that the most amount of profit that you make in one day, it must be under or less than 40% of the total profit. That means your most amount of profit in one day cannot be greater than 40% of your total profit. And I will explain all of that because it sounds really confusing, but this is what I got from their website. But once we get to the calculator that I've built, everything will be smooth and you will understand everything and you can calculate it easily by yourself using that calculator, as it's going to be free to download. So the other speculation, will my account get breached if I violate it? Well, for MyFundedFutures prop firm, they will not breach your account, but they will ask you to keep trading for the next days to make more money, to make whatever, to make your account still meet that 40% consistency rule. So that is it for my slides that I have right now, and we're gonna jump in to the calculator that I built, and we're gonna go through some examples. So you can guys find this calculator that I've built down in the description below of this video. You can download it for free, and once you get here, you will be able to open it. I have locked it, so I'm gonna unlock it for myself. For you guys are going to have to go to file and make a copy of that file, save it on your Google Drive, and you can open it easily. But for me, I can unlock it for myself and then I'll lock it later. And as you can see here, this is the calculator that I've built. It's pretty easy and pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So once you get here and download it and everything, you have the consistency rule option. So when you click on this drop down menu, you have multiple options. So this is basically the consistency rule percentage. It varies from, the first option is 20% or 0.2, um, or 0.2, which is the 20%, going up to 70% or 0.7. So for our case, the my funded future is 0.4 or the 40%. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And if you notice from the color action, the only cells that you need to enter or interact with is the input data, the orange one, the orange cells. So the first one is the consistency rule. You have to set that first. So let's go through an example, and I'm gonna explain the rest of the calculator parameters while we're going through the example. So let's say on a 150K account, the first day, let's say you made $2,000. So we're gonna enter 2,000. It's a plus, it's not a negative, and it is a $2,000. So let's say the next day you lost $500. And for the third day you made $1,000. And all these variables or these values, you can just edit it yourself and apply it to your profits, your actual profits, to get the consistency rule and keep maintaining it. Let's say for the fourth day you made you had a large amount of pay and you made like $8,000. So now that $8,000 is really high, and it's not consistent from the and it's not consistent comparing to the other amounts that you made. So what you need to do here, so let's go ahead and go through day 5 here. Let's say you lost $600, or let's say you lost $1,000. That's pretty reasonable. Okay, so uh, uh, so for the 5 day, let's say that from day 1 through 5, this is maybe like 1 week or 2 weeks. It doesn't really matter. But you see here your account balance. It's really the amount of profit added to the account balance. So this is $9,500. You're in profit, and you want to withdraw money from your account. Based on my funded future, you will not be able to withdraw this amount of money because you're simply not meeting the consistency rule. And this is the second parameter that you need to look at. You're not meeting the consistency rule. So if you go up here, you will understand why you're not consistent and you're not meeting the consistency rule. Here, the highest profit in one day that you made based on these data that we just input together, the highest today is $8,000, which is on day 4. And simply that $8,000 is not meeting the 40% consistency rule, because the most amount of money that you need to make to maintain that 40% consistency rule, it must be less than $3,800, and you made in one day $8,000. Does that mean that my account gonna get breached? No. Does that mean that I won't get my payout or that $8,000? No. What that is just limiting you from withdrawing your money currently at this moment of time. Now, because you kind of broke the consistency rule and did not meet it, now they will give you kind of like a challenge or a target that you need to hit, or to get that profit in your account to be able to withdraw your money and be eligible for your payout. And that question is, how much profit do I need to have in my account to meet the consistency rule? And as you can see from our calculation, this is gotta be $20,000 in profit on top of our account balance. So if you have a 150K account, your account must be in $170,000 in order to be consistent. So it gives you the answer in here. So let's say you go ahead and continue trading, and let's say the 6th day you made $1,000, and for the next and for the 7th day you made, let's say, $5,000. So right now I'm gonna enter $5,000, and note that the most amount of day that I need to stay under is 4,000. So that means this might change. So let's see. So I'm gonna enter $5,000. I made 5,000 in one day. It did not change. That's really good. But and that boosted our profit that we can make in one day through to $6,200, and we're almost there to make this amount. To make this, all we need to do is to justify this amount, the $8,000, to make it meet the 40% profit target or the 40% consistency rule. So in day 8, let's say you made more than the amount of money that you needed to make. Let's say you made another 8,000. Let's see where will that put us at based on in our calculation, and what will the calculator give us. So awesome, look at this now. So on day 8 you made another $8,000. Now you're consistent. Now you meet the consistency rule. Why? What happened there? So the most amount of profit in one day that you made is $8,000. That put us, all this calculation, that put our profit in our account balance in $23,500. So, and we needed to meet the first rule, that we had the highest day of 8,000, and to have our profit in our account to be $20,000. And we made, instead of $20,000, we made $23,500. But notice that we stayed consistent and not making large amount of money during that process of getting our profit to that amount that we needed to get in our profit, which is 20,000. We made 23,500, which made our highest profit in one day is $8,000. Our most profit in one day, the limit, it pushed it from 8,000 to 9,400, which make the most amount of profit that we actually made to be less than this amount. And this amount here, or the limit here, is basically the amount of profit times the consistency rule, and it will give us a limit of how much we need to make in one day. It's just as simple as that, guys. So on top of the consistency rule calculator, and I showed you how you can use it and how you can understand the simple information from it. On top of that, I've built a kind of a little simple graph of your win rate and your how many wins, how many losses. As you can see here, this is the numbers of wins, losses, this is the win rate, and this is kind of like a graph of how much wins you got compared to the losses in a pie chart. So this is it, guys. This is what I've built. It is free to download, and I just wanted to go over how the calculator work and how I designed it. You can actually use it yourself and put your actual data here, and it will spit out your numbers, and if you meet the consistency rule or not, and all of that. All I ask in return is just some love on the video and subscribe to the channel if you like the content that I present. And I also have myself a 150K starter account evaluation from MyFundedFutures that I'm going through a journey with you guys, and uploading a day by day the amount of profit or losses that I've made a day, and sharing with you the trade ideas that I take, if I take any. And that is it for today's video, guys. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And that is it for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.